Unless you've been living under a rock, you have definitely heard about all of the drama surrounding Lunchleys, and it's a lot. Like Mr. Beast coming out of hiding after, dodging any response from all of the other allegations that have been thrown his way to make responses about Lunchly. From KSI repeatedly having meltdowns and sounding like the Joker trying to cope. Why am I getting hate, right? Like, I'm with the two most controversial people, and I've made a food item for children as merch, and it's not even like a third of the calories needed for a child. Shut up. Lastly, the thing that I want to talk about today, Logan Paul advertising Lunchleys while his partner's in labor and about to give birth. I know that I'm a bit late to talking about Lunchleys, but I kind of wanted to see all the responses come out, and I was also dealing with some personal issues, so I wasn't able to actually record. But I'm back. Last thing to get into, I am bald now. Yes, I shaved my head for a donation goal. I'm not going through anything medically. Just wanted to clear the air for that, but if you think this is cool, think this is funny, want to make me do other stuff, head over to the Twitch. It's really cool. Done with the plug. Done with the shameless plug. Okay, back to video. So Lunchleys came out. And to everyone's dismay, it was these three goons, Mr. Beast, Logan Paul, and KSI, that were behind them.
Lunchly versus Lunchables.
With Lunchly, you get double the amount of liquid.
Prime has no sugar added, more electrolytes, and more B vitamins.
Crunch Bar.
Whoa.
Feastables Crunch
Yeah!
Bar. Our pizza uses real cheese. Theirs, as it says on their box, is mozzarella pasteurized prepared cheese product. They can't even call it real cheese.
So Mr. Beast wasn't a fan of people, making an outcry saying, hey, don't make lunch for children, especially when you're doing something that is just slightly better than Lunchables. And Mr. Beast's only real big response was, well, we don't use cheese product, we use real cheese. Okay. And they were also really trying to hard sell to children, mind you, that they had a lot of electrolytes in their stuff because of Prime. Electrolytes is a buzzword, and it means absolutely nothing to a child who is sitting at a desk in school. It means absolutely nothing to them, and it is not providing them benefits that they should even care about. What they should care about is actually getting enough food into a child, enough calories, if you will. Now, I don't need to get into these details for you because people that are much more qualified already have, like Dr. Mike. Dr. Mike put this video out a week ago, which has been blowing up, where he goes over and talks about the actual nutritional content of the Lunchleys just in general, for general child health. And it sucks. And it's a third of what a child needs in a lunch.
And looking in the comparison, I'd be most interested in calories, which they have, protein, which they have, sugar, which they have, saturated fat, which is missing, and sodium, which is not only missing, but replaced by electrolytes. And unlike all the other macros, is only labeled potassium and only in the Prime bottle in the kit, comparing it to the Capri Sun in the Lunchables. This is a pretty weird marketing choice to label electrolytes in food products. It's such a strange choice that it even stunned fellow Dr. Brian Suterer, who tweeted,
"Sodium getting rebranded as electrolytes will be taught in marketing textbooks one day."
And sadly was ashamed to see Logan attack instead of starting a meaningful dialogue with the doctor.
He makes the point that electrolytes are not usually a deciding factor in what you're gonna pack your kid for lunch. The biggest point that they were making is that it's less calories, less of bad stuff, compared to Lunchables. And it ends up being what, 200-300 calories. Dr. Mike goes on to put it way more eloquently than I can, using the USDA government, standards done for school lunches for children, to make the point that that is the worst part about it, is how low in calories it is.
Let's look at the recently passed nutrition standards set forth by the USDA for school lunches and see how Lunchly compares. Less than 10% of calories should come from saturated fat. Lunchly turkey, 23% of calories come from saturated fat. Less than 10% of calories should come from added sugars. Lunchly turkey, 10.4 comes from added sugars. You see, USDA caloric guidelines say that a lunch meal for kids K through 8 should contain around 625 calories. Kids need energy to function, and calories give them that energy. Lunchly turkey contains only 230 calories, which would mean a kid would need to eat about 2.7 portions to consume enough calories. Finally, the grain guidelines state that 80% of lunch meals must be whole grain, and Lunchly turkey does not list any whole grain ingredients.
They don't hit any single guideline, and they're making a food product for children for school lunches. To make the comparison to Lunchables and saying that we're a little bit better than Lunchables is already a non-starter. You're comparing it to trash already that people shouldn't be bringing to their kids for school lunch every day. And I think that that's the point that a lot of people had an issue with. I don't think for anyone, like what we saw with, the whole Dan TDM drama when he, stepped into the ring and was saying that, what they were doing was stupid. It's not the fact that an influencer is trying to make a product that is going to, help or just, benefit the people who watch their content. DanTDM has like Funko Pops, I think, and merch and all that stuff. And it's all good, but it's also very clearly like a toy or, something to wear. Whereas Lunchleys are trying to market themselves as something that's actually healthy when it isn't. Just because it's a little bit healthier than Lunchables, which already sucks eggs, doesn't mean that it's a good idea. And the fact that you're trying to market it as a healthy food for children to eat is the issue. And I agree with Mike. They should at the bare minimum be starting at like what is recommended by the USDA for children to consume, because they're going to know a lot more about it than some content creators. If they had just said they were making a food product and they weren't trying to advertise it as something that had to do with, making people healthier, I don't think we would have seen as much blowback as we have so far. Just because your turd is way shinier and a little smaller than the other turd doesn't mean you can get away with selling turds. I could have said poop, but turd just rolled off the tongue better. Yeah. Now, out of these three losers, the one that was taking this the worst had to have been KSI. Now, he put out this video kind of responding to the hate called Everybody Hates Us Right Now. A gentleman by the name of Arto here ended up actually covering it in the most beautiful way. And I'm just going to show you a few clips from his video, but I highly recommend you check his channel out. This was hilarious.
Lunchley, ladies and gentlemen.
Are you serious right now? This guy actually has the nerve to promote his dog shit product first minute of the video. LSI's entire response is complete trash, and I'm going to show you bit by bit why that is.
My favorite part of this entire video is he talks about the fact that KSI does this like weird giggle whenever he's being really defensive, and he's trying to play it off like he thinks all of it's funny. And so he compiled a few of them.
I guess KSI forgets the moment he gets defensive, and that is when all of this happens.
Yo, is this person fucking...
I'm not kidding when I say he laughed like 70 different times at nothing.
So yeah, he sounds like the Joker and was pretty much just making like terrible points in regard to pretty much everything that was being thrown against him. And he just looks like a doofus. I don't really need to tell you why his takes are wrong, so I'm just gonna let a few of them play.
It's because people just hate us. People just hate us. People hate Logan Paul, okay? They hate Mr. Beast, and they hate me.
Newsflash, buddy. Nobody hated you until this incident, you moron. You're the guy that decided to collab with crypto scammer Logan Paul and PDF hiring Mr. Beast. And even that didn't really mean that everyone was just suddenly going to attack you for collabing with them. But the moment you attack DanTDM is the moment they realized, hey, this KSI guy seems to be a real piece of shit. At that point, your fans just expected you to stay quiet and take the hit like a man, instead of whining like a man-child on Twitter.
When it comes to Twitter, Twitter is just a cesspool of the most depressed people on this earth.
Yeah, so he's basically blaming the Twitter mob for attacking him, instead of accepting that he was actually at fault here.
If you make good points, you're a dick eater and a dick rider. I can tell the IQ of this Reddit is lowering. I'm sure there's just been an influx of DanTDM fans just lowering the IQ of this fucking Reddit, man.
He's really hitting that counter argument that I think Cat in the Hat, the live action one, did.
You're not just wrong, you're stupid.
He also just bashes his Reddit, because in his subreddit, everyone is going, KSI, you're kind of looking like a moron. As you saw there, it's just like, oh, it just must be a bunch of DanTDM fans. DanTDM fans wouldn't go onto your subreddit to create posts to argue or to make you look bad. That is giving way too much credit to fans of other content creators that don't like you. It takes a different kind of hater to show up on your Reddit when they don't watch your content to do that. But in this video that Arto makes, I believe he actually also was able to see posts that were up that were getting deleted on the subreddit because they were in even like a gentle opposition to KSI, even like kindly saying, hey, I don't necessarily agree with this, blah, blah, blah. And they were still getting removed.
Sure, KSI, whatever you say, but I'm curious, if this was just an influx of DanTDM fans coming in to hate on him, why didn't the post just get downvoted or something like that? Why are they the top posts on your Reddit? There could only be two possibilities. A, your fanbase over on Reddit is as small as your dick, or B, your own fans are criticizing you because they realize that you're a piece of shit. It's really not that that deep, my guy.
So yeah, he has not been really handling it well. Just a lot of I highly recommend you go check out the rest of the video. It's an absolute banger and goes through the entire response. KSI is still kind of like just self-destructing, making responses to Dan TDM. It's all stupid. I don't want to dive deep into it because we had the third part of this unholy trinity, Mr. LP himself, crypto scammer extraordinaire Logan Paul, who is advertising Lunchleys on his Snapchat in the hospital room that his partner is in because, you know, she's giving birth. I just found this post on Reddit that includes some of these screenshots from the Snapchat story. But as you can see here, I turned the hospital room into a vibe. And so we've got fairy lights, some Polaroids and stuff, but we also have, as you can see right here, some Lunchleys. Honestly, like just having them over in the corner, I don't think it's a real big deal. I think it's stupid because you're in a hospital room, but it does unfortunately get worse. He follows up that photo with this fantastic video right here.
And of course, we have our snacks and our energy drink, none other than the greatest meals in the world. Lunchly, of course, we have the turkey, cheese, and cracker stack. Also the Fiesta Nachos, my personal favorite.
Love. Now, I had the unfortunate pleasure of watching the end of his like Snapchat grouping here, and I'm going to show you guys too because I feel obligated to force you to endure what I did.
Okay.
The whiplash from "it's everyday, bro" to pictures of your inked baby feet is insane. What? Regardless of, you know, the relationship that he has with his partner, etc. You know what? You're gonna have a child. I can excuse that. I don't really have to because you're Logan Paul. But can we do a vote here and just see like if anyone's willing to put money on it? I've got money on the fact that Logan will probably never have his kid eat a Lunchly outside of doing it for PR, even if they even make it that far with the Lunchly. I have it on strong authority that there's a good chance that he will never be letting his kid eat that stuff outside of it being a PR move because it's not good. And I think he should know that at this point. I think it just comes off as being a very insensitive look to be trying to advertise your product, which has already been receiving a lot of flack, while you're in the hospital supporting your partner who is going through incredible pain and bringing into the world your child. It really leaves a sour taste in my mouth that is what ends up being the focal point of, you know, this entire adventure and ordeal. And maybe it wasn't, but like to bring that out to your audience, I think is a terrible look. Maybe not so much because his audience is full of kids that are probably going to be eating this stuff. Because let's be real, anyone above that age demographic knows about the crypto scams and every other terrible thing he's done. Funny Forrest moment, if you will. But I think more than that, you know, the fact that you're taking time while you're going through what, you know, for most people is an incredibly important and sensitive and intimate moment with your loved ones, to take a moment and advertise a product or do any dumb stuff like that. It's totally fine to, you know, post your fairy lights and stuff, but to go into a whole little advertisement is just like shallow at best, and at worst it's showing his clear priorities for, you know, the content and marketing his brand and stuff, even when he's in a situation like this. Normally I don't feel comfortable making, you know, jumps and conclusions like that, but with this guy's track record, I think it provides a bit more legitimacy to the points I'm making than not. Altogether, when it comes down to Lunchly, I don't think that they would have received this much hate had it not been these people, had it not been Logan Paul with his history, but more specifically Mr. Beast with the entirety of all the allegations that have been stewing around for the last months that are now hitting, you know, mass media. People are just watching everything that Jimmy does. Unfortunately, making a kid's meal and then, you know, advertising it to kids and putting the word healthy next to it was one of the worst things they could do. And it's so nice to see that in the fear that maybe they would just recover and not talk about anything, they happen to screw up yet again and have continued this death spiral that they're on. I don't think Lunchleys are going to sell nearly as well as they would have had they not been dealing with all this pushback. But let me know what you guys think. If you have differing opinions on the Lunchly debacle, on how Logan is handling it, or KSI, I really doubt you're gonna differ with anybody on KSI. But with that being said, let's get on to member shoutouts.
Alright, I picked this voice. I'm very sorry in advance, but let's get into it. Special shoutouts to Terasel, Quintio's mom, thank you mom, Ink Plasma, Breezy Drew, The Stone Wanderer, Eclipse Wolf Productions, Michael Parks, Cave, The Sand Dog, Vicky and Dennerin, Elena is here, not ninja_S. Blair, Borlife, Munzie, Shelf Related, Little Kitty, Evil Fairy, Cam Nuggets, OMG It's a Pancake, Boy Tiger Rockin', Extreme, ZXXZZ1, Pound and Edge, Joan, Michael Dufka, Melty of 2, Jeremy Stalkup, Waylon, Yogi Farmer, Weird Wonders, Vinzo0913, Teal, Sir Kitty Litter, Forkstick, Rhythm Rocks, Persona Normal, WinVR, Psyxander, Noah Brown, Naomi Jimenez, Cindasphere, Frosty, Tommy C's Cat, Captain Spud, Orange Cat Pianist, and the 40, PBYK, Big Jim, Alex, Rain the Once, Yes and No, Basically Bricks, Ugly with Silence, Cave Monster, Quintio's Brother, Owen Renane, Jackson, No CDI, Saya Sneaka, For All Yarn Kind, SME Smiley Face, Bogies JK, Iona, Titanium Sid, Cake's Mom, and Gosu. Thank you guys all so much. And I'll see you in the next video. Adios. See you. Bye.